Hey, it's your grammar nerd professor. So, in our book, the author uses the word utilize a lot, and that really just it impedes my flow of reading because use and utilize are not the same. So they may sound like the same version of this, different versions of the same word, but they're not exactly. Um, when should you use and when should you use utilize? So it doesn't necessarily make you sound smarter if you say utilize instead of use. Um, they do have different meanings. So the definition of use is to put into action, employ, or utilize. And the definition of utilize is to make use of or employ. But utilize also has an assumed strategy of employment. So what does that mean? So you use utilize when you're indicating that the application is beyond the original intended use. So I use my frying pan to cook with, but I have also utilized it as a weapon. So the intended use is to cook. So the proper term is use. And then when you're using an unintended application, like as a weapon, you would say utilize. So you'd say, I use my pen for writing. I utilized my pen for a bookmark in my notebook. She used the mason jar for canning, or she utilized a mason jar for crafting and made it a candle holder. So you can always replace utilize with use, but you can't always replace use with utilize. So that's important, I think, for your future professional communications, so that you'll be the smart one to know there's a difference. And I have a link to this, so I'll post that as well. And my other um, thing that I can't stand is when people think that plurals like process is processes and bias. They always do say biases. So you only end a plural in the sound ease if the original, the singular, ends in is. So hypothesis becomes hypotheses. Diagnosis becomes diagnoses, right? Because that's a Latin thing. But process does not become processes, it's just processes. Bias does not, doesn't end in an is, so it just becomes biases. So when people say that, I'm like, oh, do you say dressies or bussies? No, you just say dresses and buses. So thanks for listening to my grammar nerd video, but really it's to help you because I want you to sound smart and do great in your writing. If you have any other grammar questions, again, just let me know. And grammar is part of what you are going to be graded on kind of in your discussions and then in your term paper at the end. So I want you to do well. Okay, y'all, that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye.